The Virungas, the volcanoes that give the park its name. The influence of their inner fires is felt throughout the area. Hot springs emerge in many places. And as there was life on the mountain tops at freezing temperatures, here life blooms at the boiling point. Algae flourishes, and just as vegetation changed with temperature on the mountains, here too the kind and color of algae changes as the water grows cooler farther from the source. Some hippos seem to enjoy a hot mud wallow, especially the old rheumatic ones. These have moved as close to the hot spring as is comfortable. Reptiles work more efficiently when they are warm, so a morning visit to the springs gets a monitor lizard quickly up to operating temperature. But experience and caution are needed. This younger, less experienced monitor went in too close to the source and was boiled alive. And he is not alone in his gruesome fate. Life here must be a series of small, careful moves. Not easy if you're a jumper. But when threatened by a hunting rhinoceros viper, the frog will have to make more than cautious hops. What's needed now are great leaps of faith. There are only a few spots where the water is fatally hot, and the frogs usually make it across. But this one is caught between a snake and a hot place. Another tiny victim of the volcano's fires. Steam gushing from the ground around the volcanoes is common, but every few years, somewhere in the lush forests surrounding their base, something more sinister starts to drift up from the earth. Far below, tree roots have caught fire, sending small smoke signals up to the surface. The volcanoes are turning up the heat, and the forest creatures feel it. There is agitation and tension in the air. Their world is about to explode. Shooting several hundred feet into the sky, the fountain of magma builds up a cone of cinders. When the crater inside the cone fills with lava, it pours out over the rim. lava consumes all life in its path, while laying the foundation for its rebirth. But the volcanic ash is rich, and generous rains feed the regrowth. Within months, there will be patches of green, pioneer plants grown from seeds and spores blown from the islands of vegetation that were once themselves active cones. For the volcano preserves even while it destroys. The cones, once the source of all the destruction, become covered in forest. In future eruptions, they'll provide a refuge to plants and animals, safety on high ground above the lava's reach. Some of the bigger and older islands